Action anime are fun and exciting to watch, especially if the main character is a badass type. Sometimes the main character, due to some circumstances, can't show his true powers, and there's a specific moment where he surprises everyone by showing his true power, leaving his enemy in fear. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk to you about the top 10 school anime where the main character surprises everyone with his power. If you're new to this channel, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. At number 10, we have Haruhiko Ichijo from Musaige no Phantom World. The protagonist is a student of Hosea Academy who's affiliated with Phantom Powers. His part-time occupation is Phantom Hunter with his friends as his team. Haruhiko is popular for being handsome and tall. Personality-wise, he's quite kind and attracted towards books. That's why most of his time is spent in the library, trying to find as much information as he can about the Phantoms. Things get interesting though when we talk about his powers and abilities. His ability called the Book of Thoth is quite overpowered. As he's an artist by hobby, his powers are also linked to drawing. By drawing his enemy phantoms into the book, he can capture them. However, it seems that if the phantom is too fast, he can't seem to draw them very well. That's just a fraction of his awesome powers. In addition to sealing other phantoms, he can also summon phantoms the same way. Seeing these powers, everyone in his team was quite surprised. Moving on to his most powerful ability, the power to copy others' moves. This makes even the strongest enemies shake in the fear of his copying techniques.
様は何も分かっていない。最初は何の役にも立たない主人公の異能。主人公？それが覚醒して最強の異能となる王道のパターンだろうが。
Number 9 is Ainu Battle wa Nichijo. Moving on to number 9, we have Ando July, Ando Jurai, or July Ando, whatever you want to call him. He's a high school student considered to be very flashy and stupid sometimes. Unlike most of the other characters, Jurai is energetic and edgy most of the time. Talking about his power, it's called Dark and Dark, the power to manipulate flames from his right hand. Now at first the power was considered to be completely useless most of the time, but at some point in the plot, it blew everyone's mind. We're going to get to that in just a moment. In the beginning, his powers to maintain and control black flames were weak. This means that he couldn't actually burn anything, or his flames weren't strong enough to burn anything at all. Considering the hardships that occurred, it gave him a huge character boost and his powers evolved. His evolved power of Dark and Dark is called Dark and Dark of the End. Unlike the previous non-ignitable and bland powers, this literally put anything on fire. Enemies, objects, anything is engulfed by the dark flames. Jirai has consistently improved in the plot, having powers that evolved from zero to hero, and that makes him worth adding to this list. Number 8 is Hentai Ujita Warawanai. Yuto Yokodera is a perverted 18-year-old boy. As the anime name suggests, it has a rather interesting story. Yuto loves swimsuits and is in love with Barbara-sama. However, even after having such a perverted mindset, people seem to read his actions wrong and think of him as an honorable and respectful person. However, Yuto himself is so tired of being misinterpreted and just wants to make people believe in his true intentions. After getting tired of being wrongly judged, he's told about the stony cat by his best friend. Apparently, praying to the cat would remove this facade and make his true intentions visible to the people around him. He goes to pray with Barbara-sama and then removes his hurtful side that kept him from relaying his true intentions. But everyone was surprised after noticing that he can only tell the truth now. No lies, no deceptions, only the truth be told, and it gave him a lot of trouble throughout the plot.
Sensei! Shuri-kun ga erohon motte kite masu. Sono you desu.
At number 7, we have Teito Klien from 07 Ghost. Teito's childhood was rather happy and pure-hearted until the war broke out. His memories were erased and he was made to be a slave who fought until the end. He was a 15-year-old boy who had so much to see in life. pretty sad. Even though he had a sad past, he still wouldn't budge and decided not to show his emotions to anyone, as crying is of no use. During the exam, he showed extraordinary skills that are worth mentioning in this video. Deito's ability is called Zaifon, and he can manipulate this ability to surpass his limits. We've seen variations of his power throughout the season, but his abilities made everyone vary from him. At the academy, he became the top graduate of his class as his powers were unrivaled by any other student. Using his Zaifon, he can legit destroy his enemies, or even make a shield that's strong enough to save a big number of people at the same time. Moreover, we've also seen him flying by using his Zaifon powers. In addition to this power, his hand-to-hand combat strong enough to make everyone's jaw drop. He has killed many monsters using nothing but his own combat powers and has left everyone in shock. Considering all these plus points, Deito is one of the most coolest characters on our list today.
君はこんな資料で会社から金をせびるつもりか。倫理というものをバカにしてるのか。
倫理ってなんだ。
それはさすがに。
何が天才エンジニアだ。
Number 6 is Classroom Crisis. Nagisa Kiryu is our protagonist for this anime. Unlike other anime where the character surprises others with his battle strength or physical power, Nagisa's rather mentally strong. His mental strength is known to be rather dangerous in this plot. In the plot, he joins Girishina Corps, a company who he takes to sky-high success. By the orders of Kiryu Yuji, who's the current vice president of Girishina Corps, Nagisa is trying to disband A-Tech, but he backfires Kiryu with his super strong brain set and by playing mind games that no one was expecting. Throughout the anime, Nagisa is very professional and strategic. However, at some point, he's captured by Yuji and is thrown into a rocket to die. At the end of the anime, he still doesn't lose hope, but he's just resigned from Girishina and went back to Japan to start his new company. A perfect display of professionalism and how you should never give up. Nagisa has the ultimate power of a strong mindset. Number 5 is Gakusen Toshi Asterisk. At number 5 we have Amagiri Ayato, a character who's trying to find the purpose in his life. He has a respectful and polite personality that everyone seems to love. Ayato's family has a dojo in which they teach some ancient techniques to fight when the time of disasters come. Ayato also respects his older sister very much and swore to protect her by any means. However, she disappears at some point in the anime. Before disappearing, she put a seal on Ayato that would prevent him from using all of his powers unless he trained himself and unlocked those powers all by himself. Ayato manages to break the seals, and throughout the story, we get to see a handful of techniques used by him. As a sword fighter, he knows a lot of techniques in battle. From one sword style to double sword extreme, his powers have no limits. But we're going to talk about a particular one that left everyone in shock. This power is called Shiki. Using Shiki, his physical and mental powers are enhanced. By noticing things like bloodlust, movements, sound, and air, he can take things into consideration and predict where the next attack will land. What's crazy is that he can even detect invisible things and actually fight with them.
メイン武装全開。トリガー起動完了。さあ、一丁やるか。
Number 4 is World Trigger. Probably the most exciting MC in this list is Yuma Kuga. He's a neighbor, which means he's half human and half humanoid. Yuma is totally overpowered throughout the series. Everyone would think of him as a pushover and a rather weak character, but at the same time, he can do something exciting enough to have everyone's attention, and he's constantly gaining recognition and popularity. As a neighbor, he doesn't know much about Japanese culture as he's from another world. His personality is logical and would work with logic, though calm at the same time. Talking about his powers, and oh boy, they never end. From combat to the most powerful techniques, he surprised and intrigued everyone in the border staff and even some of the strongest villains. His most prominent and strongest power is his Black Trigger. The primary power of his Black Trigger is to create seals that would help him in combat, boosting his physical and mental strength to the level that even an A-rank agent wouldn't be able to keep up with him. Both defensive and aggressive, his Black Trigger can also aid him in taking some attacks with no damage. The side effect of his Black Trigger gives him the power to detect lies. That's why he can be rather dangerous even for his own allies. Yuma Kuga has an excellent battle strength and is a beast in terms of combat. Definitely worth putting on your list. At number 3 we have Hayato Kisaragi from 100, a guy who would give his all to solve others' problems. He's a kind-hearted, warm person, but at the same time well-trained and strong as seen in the anime. The whole point of him fighting in the anime and becoming a slayer was to get his sister's treatment for free. Hayato's reason for kindness is his dark past that was shown throughout the anime, but as we're going to talk about his badass powers where he left everyone in shock, let's do exactly that. Being an overpowered badass, he has a lot of techniques in his arsenal, but the one that we think is the most impactful in the whole series is called Zeneizan. This technique was taught to Hayato by his childhood master Ryusei. The power allows him to cut any materials that come in his way. His sword would cause a vibration and then amplifying it up to 3 times by the second strike. I'm telling you, it's a badass move. Harutora from Tokyo Ravens is number 2 on our list. He has a kind personality that everyone seems to love. However, he can sometimes be clueless as he fails to get feelings of many girls that would fall for him occasionally. In the anime, to make sure that Harutora lives a stable life, his father sealed away his powers at a very early age. But this really made him suffer as he couldn't use his powers initially. Even at the most stressful times when his friends were being defeated inside the academy, he would lose to all of his opponents. But at some point in the anime, he awakened his powers and really made everyone surprised. After awakening his powers, he dealt with the Seishuku Temple single-handedly when his friends were having problems with them. As the story progresses, the knowledge about Imperial magic style increases, making him the most powerful character of the series. Number 1 is Gusen Madoshi Kohosei. Finally, for the number 1 most exciting character, Ganata Age is on our list. Also called the Black Master Swordsman, we can just guess how powerful of a character he might be. Personality-wise, he cares for his friends and would give them jobs they won't do to make them surpass their limits in a challenging way. As an instructor of a team that lost 100 matches consecutively, he had a lot of work to do throughout the series. We get to see his most badass moves that left everyone in shock, but the most exciting power we're going to talk about is Black Aura. Black Aura is a power that he used a couple of times in the anime but is super strong. The power gives him a boost in every single way that it can. He's able to beat Chimera Ant and Beetles with a single strike. These enemies were causing trouble, and our protagonist Ganata came in and portrayed this power that made people's jaws drop. That's the end of our video and our top 10 of today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you had fun watching this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon so that you won't miss our future videos. Until next time, peace.